What's up, guys? Welcome into the PTA post-game show. My name is Clayton. You can check us out on Packernet.com. Find me on Twitter at Packers_access. Email us, PackersTotalAccess@gmail.com. You can text us 865-658-5824. Join alongside Tim live in Green Bay. We may have Emilio hop on here in a minute. Who knows? But, man, the Packers, whoo, what a game. Boy, I tell you, Tim, if I smoked lung darts, I would have went through a couple packs during that one, my friend. Obviously come out with a huge victory, 20-19. Let's get this party started right and give a quick shout out to the good folks over at Ticket King, the official ticket provider of Packer Fan Total Access Live. Wisconsin-based since '92, specializing in Packers tickets. They're Wisconsin's largest ticket source with offices next to Lambeau and in Milwaukee. Click on the link in the video description and I'll send you to their website, theticketking.com, where you can register for free and go ahead and start shopping for your Packers tickets. Again, that's Ticket King, the official ticket provider of Packer Fan Total Access Live. Tim, man, you got the floor, bro. I'm exhausted. There's so many. I think this is the first time I've ever charted a game and had more red than green. Like everything that could have gone wrong went freaking wrong for the Packers. And somehow you end up beating the Bears on their home field. I don't expect many Bears fans hanging out in here in the post-game show, especially the ones that talk trash all week. But
oh yeah,
how feeling about this win here, Tim?
You know, a lot of ups and downs, right? A lot of emotional roller coaster this afternoon for sure. But hey, I said it in the pregame. I'll say it again. A win is a win is a win is a win. Dub in the dub column. Check the box. We'll take it. It wasn't pretty, but we'll take it. And man, thank you, Carl Brooks. I've never wanted to give a grown man a hug so much in my life right until this moment. What an absolutely incredible gutsy play. The only way to secure the victory. And our boys got it done in the trenches when it counted. But there was a lot of I don't know, negative about this game, in my opinion. There was positive too, you know, great game from Scoot. Josh Jacobs ran the ball well, but overall it was a team victory. The boys found a way to get it done when we needed it. A couple questionable calls in the game, but, you know, kind of like we predicted, good old Billy Vinovich kind of stayed out of it for the most part. I thought it was a fair, game as far as the officials, but man, you can't do anything but be happy right now. Victory Monday tomorrow. We've got another one. Finally, it's been a while since we've had a Victory Monday. We'll take this one, right, Clay? I don't care if it wasn't pretty. It's a dub, and hey, we got a division win. It's about damn time.
Yeah. We say this every week. I don't know what people expect. Like, you're expecting the Packers to come out in boat race teams every single week, and they're not built like that. They're one of the youngest teams in the league. You got to find ways to win these close games, and that's exactly what they did today. Now, listen, I've got plenty of negative we could talk about, but I'm not going to sit here and turn this into a damn snooze fest with everybody bitching and moaning when you came away from a division game with the W. I'm just not going to do it. We could talk about why it was close, absolutely, but, man, I would much rather focus on the positive stuff and the fact that Jordan Love, when you needed it, he took you right down the field and got it done. By the way, Christian Watson, I want to say it again, Christian Watson, the catch in double coverage, the diving catch across the middle, and then get up and take it for 60 yards. Like, I'm sorry.
Game ball.
Anybody who's still out there claiming that Christian Watson isn't a good receiver, just refusing to watch when his opportunities are presented, just a hell of a job there, man. Christian Watson, I'm with you, Tim. Carl Brooks could get a game ball. Christian Watson could get a game ball.
Brenton Cox Jr. could get a game ball.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. But yeah, this is it's an awesome win. And again, like you said, man, a win is a win. And anybody who wants to harp on the fact that you didn't blow a team out, do your thing. We're just not going to do it in here. Sorry. We call it Victory Monday, and we call it the victory celebration after a win for a reason. We're going to have a good time in here and talk about some of the positives, what we're going to do. Hardy the Prophet with the Super Chat. Appreciate you, buddy. At least Jordan is looking comfortable enough. Great point, Hardy. He looks healthy to me now. Yeah. Listen, if he doesn't throw that rocket ball over Tucker Kraft's head for an interception, we're talking about Jordan having a hell of a game, are we not? Yeah. So that's literally one throw. Now, I have more of a problem with the play call sequence up to that point than I do. Quarterbacks are going to miss throws. That's going to happen. What you didn't see Jordan do was make boneheaded mistakes today. And you seen him lay his freaking body on the line for that touchdown run, which is that's one of those clips, Tim, we're going to see over and over and over. as we go through the season and in future seasons. Really, that dude right there. You think his teammates didn't look up at him? You think Carl Brooks didn't look up there and go, "Boy, 10's laying it on the line. Let's go out here and block his damn kick."
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's what you need, right? You got to pick each other up out there. Everyone's got a job to do. And if everyone's giving their best, you're not always going to find success, right? We saw some frustration from Xavier McKinney today and a couple things on defense. But hey, overall, this team banded together and got it done. And you're right. Jordan Love had a couple crucial scrambles today, including the one that, he didn't quite get home on, which basically on 4th down pinned the Bears back on their own 2-yard line to start that next drive. So that in and of itself was huge. That was a play that he could have, possibly thrown another stupid pick six or took a sack or something crazy. And he turned a negative into a positive. So you're right. I think the guys were feeding off each other today. Obviously Jair going down kind of early, kind of threw things out of whack there for our defense a little bit. But I thought all in all, this team, gritted out a win on the road against a divisional opponent. And, I'm just thrilled about it. I'll take it.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, man. And I know many people don't like those kind of games. I absolutely love them, man.
Yeah, man. This is Packers Bears 101 right here.
Oh,
man.
Yeah, no doubt, man. And listen, tip your cap to the Bears too, because you could tell that team actually came out with some grit in their ass today too. They wanted to win this ball game bad, man.
In my hands, we're not running the Bears still suck drop today. I'm going to tip my cap. I'm not. If I didn't press it, guys, if it gets played, it wasn't me. It was it was somebody else.
I might sneak one in.
Okay, that's all you, man. I'm with you though, Clay. I'm gonna tip my cap to the Bears because they came out and they balled today, and they showed a lot of grit and heart too. And Caleb was chewing us up there for a little while. So you have to salute your division rival for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Hardy the Prophet, thank you so much for the super chat, buddy. Here we got TC Fam with the super chat. Appreciate you, pal. He says LaFleur was terrible today. Bad pick by Love, but he's such a baller. I can't stay mad at him. I agree with every part of that take right there, TC Fan. There was some play calling, like one sequence. It's like they got Jordan Love on the field right now with Aaron Andrews. That's awesome. There was one play sequence that I had wrote down. I think I'd actually put a tweet out about it. I'm not sure. But it was bad, man. It was literally, it was like a 2nd and short, and you go to pass the football. Now you get called for a penalty. More things can go wrong on a passing play than right. And then the next play, so you go from 2nd and 2 or 2nd and 1 to 2nd and 6. You run a jet sweep. You lose 5 yards. Now you're looking at 3rd and 11, right? It's just that whole sequence was like, can we just not keep let's stop trying to get cute, man. Go ahead and pick up that 1st down on 2nd and short,
I feel like coach hasn't gotten the memo yet that like the NFL has figured out your style down there in the short, right. They figured out that you like to run stuff like that. It's not working anymore. It's just not working anymore. And the Bears, they were all over it every time we tried that. Now, you notice every time we just lined up under center and played a little duo, or we ran a little bit of inside, it was successful. Josh Jacobs was pounding the rock today,
Yep.
And it's you'd love to see more of that rather than the cute stuff. But hey, we've talked ad nauseum about that, right? So
right, definitely. TC Fan, thank you for the super chat, buddy. Joyce Martha, shout out for gifting 20 memberships to our members here on the YouTube channel. Appreciate you, Joyce. You are awesome. And we got Chewy with the super chat. Thanks, Chewy. He says, I love that the announcer said, quote, and a heartbreak for Chicago, as usual. Tim, the Bears do still suck. He just wants you to know he's okay.
I'm not debating. I mean, obviously, I still agree with it. I'm gonna lay off the soundbite for one day for him. They made me uncomfortable all day, so I'm gonna salute them a little bit there.
Definitely. If you'll give me a screen grab here, Tim, and again,
we're getting Suge Hafley and Tupac LaFleur for sure.
Actually, hold on just a second. Pull it back down for just a second. We got another super chat. United Bates with the super chat. Look at 20 to 19, so it's $20.19. And he says, paging Chris Foster. If you guys happen to see this gentleman in the chat anywhere, okay, Chris Foster, we're looking for you, sir. Chris Foster, hope you guys there you go. Chris Foster, hope you guys online tomorrow night after beating. All right.
We're here. Where are you at?
Green Bay bad coverage. All right, Chris, we're here, buddy. We got.
Well, wait a minute. He might have a point there on a couple of those.
We'll delete that one real quick. Let's get rid of that one real quick. Actually. All right, we'll Go ahead and move that out of the database. But thank you so much, United Bates. I think it's hilarious that multiple listeners remembered his name from yesterday.
Yeah. He was talking a lot though. He was talking that talk. I love it, Bates. 20-19. How ironic, right? I love it. We'll take it. 19-19, 20-19. We'll take it. Packers are getting it done. I love it.
Thank you so much, Bates. We appreciate you supporting the show, buddy. Let's go to QB1 at the podium here. Let's see what he's got to say.
I don't know if you saw it on the iPad, but was Jaden open in the corner? That corner drop into
initially, you're saying? Yeah, they ran cover 2. I think I was looking at the corner, trying to read him, and I felt he had his hips turned and could play both of them. And obviously, Jalen Johnson's a really good corner. I've seen him make those plays before, so I decided to get off of it. Look back on film, I think the safety was in really good position too. It definitely would have been a tight throw, but that's why I just got off it, tried to scramble and see if we can make a play that way.
Is that where you would have liked to have gone?
Yes.
Christian's had a kind of a quiet year. What does it mean to get him going, though?
No, it's obviously I think it was a focus for us coming in this week was to try and keep getting him the ball, getting him some touches. Definitely a guy that we feel like we can, keep trying to get him the ball and give him some of those ops down the field. And obviously when we do, he had a really big catch, contested catch, and went up and made a play. So, I think it was a big time day for him. I think it was four targets, 4 catches. So he made the most of the ops when they came his way.
Think of the way he's improved as just a pass catcher throughout his career. I think all 4 were pretty tough catches in between guys or extending or having to absorb contact.
Yeah, no, like you said, all 4 of those catches were contested catches. They were not easy catches, and he made that play. So that's what it comes down to. We talk about it all the time, is just going out there and making those plays on Sunday. And he did that, but I think once you make one play, I think you get that confidence, and it's easy to go out there and make a next play.
How are you feeling just walking out of here today? You guys got the win, but you have to feel like that wasn't anywhere close to as well as you guys wanted to play. So how are you feeling walking out of the
Yeah, I think to start, I feel good getting the win. We talked about all week. We knew it was going to be a 4-quarter game, a 4-quarter battle, and I'm proud of the guys. Nobody batted an eye. Nobody flinched. It wasn't by any means our perfect game or our best game. We left a lot out there, and there's a lot of stuff to clean up. But I'm just proud of the way we're down and going in that 4th quarter, and guys continue to fight and compete, and nobody flinched. So I think just the mindset we had coming into this game was that it was going to be that 4-quarter battle, and it came down to the last play. So I'm definitely proud of the way the guys fought and managed to get that win.
Today,
He's getting so much more comfortable with the podium, man.
Down at the end of the first half.
Really is.
What's it like to be in a game like that where everything's at such a premium and you move the ball, but you still need to make everything happen?
Yeah, I feel like that's how a lot of the games go in the NFL. I think that just goes to show how much you got to capitalize on every drive and try and come away with points and how critical the ball is in those games. And you can't turn the ball over and, expect to win those games. So, obviously, like you said, only 3 possessions the first half. You would love to have more, but they're so critical that you gotta go down there and get points with every possession you have and really maximize every op.
Jordan, when you threw the deep into Christian, into double coverage when the guys are there, what made you? Could you see anything that made you think that was potential completion, or were you just counting on him to go make a play?
Yeah, no. When I started moving, the safety was kind of playing both Christian and Tucker, and I saw Christian put his hand up that he was going deep, and I thought he was beyond the safety, and I think the safety did a good job as I was turning his hips and taking Christian, but anytime the ball's in the air, you love it when a receiver can go up and make that play and make you right. So, that was a big time play by Christian, and just go up there and have that confidence to go make that play. It's his ball or nobody's ball. So yeah, it was a big time play in the game.
Yeah, I love it, dude. Love the fact that Christian Watson pulled down that pass in double coverage. That was QB1 at the podium in Chicago. Obviously, Packers getting a huge win here, 20-19 over the Bears. It was ugly. But, man, that's kind of what you think of when you're playing football in Chicago, Tim. It's always ugly football in Chicago, right?
Yeah, we talked about that too pregame, right? Kind of had a feeling that this might be a grinder. Not a pretty game by any means. There were beautiful moments, don't get me wrong. Some incredible plays, both sides of the ball. But yeah, I mean, not getting the turnovers on defense, things like that. Things didn't kind of feel right all afternoon, but you were never out of it. You were never out of that game. Really, either team at any moment was out of this game. It was a close game from start to end. But Jordan's right, man. You got to trust your guys, and you got to be willing to take those chances because big plays were a premium today. And we got to tip our caps to Christian Watson. Man, I would have loved to see him cap it off with a tutter, but what an incredible day from Scoop, man. Absolutely impressive.
Yeah, no doubt. We'll keep an eye on the podium there and see when Matt comes up. In the meantime, let's hit the box score here a second and kind of give you guys an idea of how everything shook out statistically. And let me widen this out just a touch. Bang. All right. So on the day, passing wise, Jordan Love finished the day 13 of 17, Tim.
Yeah.
Very, very efficient, right? 13 of 17, 261 yards passing, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Had the sack for that he lost a yard on. So, and obviously running the ball too. He had 4 carries for 18 yards in that touchdown there with the QB sneak. Now, some people go, that's a cheap touchdown. Well, look at what he did on the play before, getting them to the 1-inch yard line, which that's going to be a lot of fun to break down in Chalk Talk as well, man. But so obviously Jordan Love come out, played a hell of a game. If you remove that interception, you're going, boy, what else could you ask your QB to do in that situation, right?
Absolutely. And, the pick is one of those things where, I'm not blaming Tucker Kraft, and you got to put that one on Jordan, but in the sense that it wasn't a bad decision. The ball had to come out quick, and it had to be, it had to be on time, and it was, but he sailed it. It happens, man. You sail a throw. It happens. And, if you're going to sail one, you want to throw to your tight end up high, especially Tuck Norris. He can go up there and grab those normally, but that ball had a lot of heat on it, and it was just sailing up and away like an Elon Musk rocket, and there was just no way to get his hands on it. So it's one of those things where, yeah, you'd love to have it back, but it wasn't like some of the picks we've seen in the last few games from Jordan, where it's just like, what the hell are you doing? So I'm giving him a little bit of grace on that one today. It's just one of those plays where football happens, kind of thing. You could say that on the other end of the spectrum. We talked about Quay Walker kind of being underwhelming lately. He had a huge PBU in coverage down the stretch there, I believe in the fourth quarter, that really saved us and kept us alive. So you got to kind of highlight both aspects of just plays where you never know. It happens, and you don't want to put anything on any one guy's shoulders. You live and die together as a team, and today we lived and survived as a team, and I just love to see it. So I'm going easy on Jordan today on that pick, though, for sure. And I'm giving Quay Walker a little bit of absolution. I don't think he played entirely terrible today, but pretty bad still.
Yeah, I think I'm definitely more negative on Quay than you are.
I'm sure I'm in the minority on this with the fan base. Yeah.
Honestly, though, I'm extreme pissed off at Quay. You're kind of the truth's probably right in the middle, right?
Yep.
So it's usually how it goes. But let's go to the chat real quick. Badger Trio, with how not great we looked at times this season, we are still 7-3. That says a lot how good we could be if we get it rolling. It's such a good point. Matter of fact, I think I've got the schedule here. Not only are we 7-3, but look at the schedule we played. The Eagles are one of the best teams in the NFC, right? Let's see, the Vikings, one of the best teams in the NFC. The Rams are really making a case for themselves to sneak in the back door here of the playoffs. The Cardinals, remember everybody said the Cardinals are garbage? They're leading their division, a division where the 49ers exist, the Seahawks exist, right? The Houston Texans, another up-and-coming team, right? You beat them at home. So, and then, of course, you lost to the Lions. So those 3 losses, guys, are to damn good football teams. Like, you've pretty much won every game that you should have won. You understand what I'm saying? Like, that's what great teams do. They go out and win the games they should. It doesn't matter what it looks like. So those 3 losses are to, I mean, honestly, the 3 best teams in the NFC, right? Am I overlooking anything there, Tim, or is that how you're seeing it too, man?
I mean, yeah, I think that's a pretty fair statement, right? The Vikings, the Lions, and the Eagles. I mean, arguably the best 3 teams, probably, other than the Packers, of course. No, but seriously, yeah, you're right. And it shows us, you can say a lot about this team and their struggles. And, like Matt LaFleur said, the youth is not an excuse. We're not talking about, them being young or any of this anymore. They're professionals. But at the end of the day, man, they find a way to win when, they really shouldn't a lot of times. For all intents and purposes, we probably should have lost this game today, especially down the stretch, giving up a couple of chunk plays there and allowing the Bears to even get a field goal attempt at the end of that game. So, yeah, I mean, I'll take it. We've had some tough losses this year, and they were all against good teams, Yep. So this was one of those games we were kind of concerned about letting get away from us, a game we felt like we should have won and should have won handily. Look at this. We had to block a field goal in the final seconds to win this ball game.
Bro, and when he kicked it, I thought it was a line drive. It was good. Like, I'm getting old.
Sure.
I was just like, man, that was a line drive. And then I heard the announcer say, it's blocked. I went, oh, my God.
I think the best part is, and we'll probably break it down on Chalk Talk, but it looked like Carl Brooks caught the fat part of that ball as it was rotating. And so when his fingertips caught that ball just nosedove and hit the crossbar.
So that's what happened. Got it. So it did hit the crossbar?
It did. It actually
Oh,
hit the crossbar and didn't bounce over. And it was because Carl Brooks basically changed the rotation on that ball
That's
from,
awesome.
end over end to tumbling forward, basically. It was amazing. Just like perfect timing, man. Football gods were with us today. Sorry, Papa Bear. Curly wins today.
That's right. And they're both smiling about it, looking down from that big football stadium in the sky. We got Matt LaFleur at the podium. If you'll give me a screen grab here, Tim, let's see what the coach has got to say.
I can do that. Let's get a Tupac LaFleur screen grab.
Work for the quarterback. They did a good job of plastering. I mean, I've always had a ton of respect for Matt Eberflus. His defenses have always they play hard, they play sound, and they got good players. So they did a better job than us in that area.
Now, when were you on the blocked field goal? What were you watching? What did you see as that?
I was watching the play like everybody else.
Did you see who got it, or?
I just saw the ball go up, obviously fluttering out of there, and I saw all our players surrounding Carl Brooks. So I figured he probably was the one that blocked it. But I will say this.
He can block.
Rich said to our team last night, I will not understand if we come out of this game without a block, whether field goal or PAT. So
Rich called his
great
shot.
job by our special teams coaches.
That's what's
We're
up.
hoping for on
I
the
love it.
end around down there. What was it, second and one, I think?
Yeah. Well, we missed a block on the perimeter. We never got the defensive back. He was able to play outside. And if you go backwards in the red area, it's tough sledding. And that's what happened.
When Jacobs, he was running the ball pretty well.
Yeah, I know. It was bad play call. Bad play call. Should have ran the ball downhill.
That a boy, Matt. Own it.
On the
I
big
love
play to
it.
Watson, A, what'd you see there? And B, was that designed for him? Because he caught the ball. There's obviously nobody left. Was that the design to get him the ball with like half the field to run on, or what happened there?
Which one are you talking about?
The six.
You're saying the one right at the end of the game? Yeah. Well, we have a play where it's a bunch of crossing routes, caught him in man coverage, and he came open. Made a hell of a play. I thought Christian Watson, I can't say enough about him. Obviously, not everything's gone his way this year, but he is a resilient dude. He shows up to work every day, right mentality, great work ethic. I love the guy. I love being around him. And I say that for our whole receiving core. I mean, that's a crowded room. It's tough to get all those guys involved, especially, I mean, I don't even know how many pass attempts we had on the game, but yeah, it's not a lot in an NFL football game. We were trying to run the football. We thought that was something we could take advantage of. So it's just, you got to maximize your opportunities when they come. And he certainly did that.
What do you make of the success your team's had in this rivalry of late?
I mean, it's one game. So I'm not worried about what's happened in the past. It's one game. It's great to come away with a win when you don't feel like you necessarily played your best. But, that's a competitive football team. The margin of error in this league is so minimal, and we see it. I mean, they're a Hail Mary away from being a 5-4 team. I mean, most teams in this league, it's a 500 league. You got to find a way to win some of these tight games like we did today.
What did you think about Jordan's decision on the deep ball to Watson to he had the safety and the corner there. He ended up catching it.
Yeah.
What was your vantage point?
Well, I mean, the play went off schedule, so I got to go back and look at it. I thought Tucker was open underneath, but you know, he's got a lot of faith. All right, he's got a lot of faith and belief in his weapons, and that's one thing I totally admire about him. He trusts those guys, and I mean, Christian made a play for him.
And he just sailed the one to.
Yeah, it was a good decision. That's where the play was designed to go. It's 3rd and 10. We need Tuck to drop step and get what he can to set up either a first down or a 4th and short, where now you have a decision to make. Ball sailed on him. You know, it is what it is. I'm not going to get bent out of shape about it. We'll look at just the drop, the mechanics, all that. And I mean, he knows, and it happens sometimes.
All right, there you go. There was Matt LaFleur at the podium in Chicago as the Packers get a big win here, 20-19 against the Chicago Bears. Let's any takeaways from that, Tim, before we go back to the chat, man? Anything stick out to you?
Yeah. First of all, I love Tupac LaFleur with all my heart and soul. I'm glad he's our coach. You saw extreme accountability there. He was asked about a couple of those calls, and he took it all on his shoulders. Said, "Oh, it was a bad play call. We should have ran the ball." And, you know, I can't help but hear myself screaming from the inside, "Thank you, coach. Thank you. Yes, I'm so glad that you acknowledge that." And because we saw that a lot today, right? We saw a lot of success running the football, and it set up a lot of the shots that we saw. I mean, I don't think that, you know, that dart to Scoot happens, you know, without the ability to run the football like we did consistently throughout the game. So hats off to Matt. Kind of shied away from it there in the red zone, a couple of those drives, but you know, he really owned it, man. And that's what you want from a head coach, right? You want to take accountability when it is on you in your play calls. I'm sure Jeff Hafley will say the same thing. You know, we weren't thrilled about a lot of the blitzes that we saw today. I mean, one thing I know with the fan base is we're all complaining about the pass rush. We just see different things. We got half the fan base saying we're not getting home. We need to get home. And I'm sitting here going, why the hell are we blitzing so much?
See, that was me. Yeah.
So, I mean, you know, we see the same things, but we see it a little differently. And that's, you know, that's why we're all here, right? To learn together. But I think Coach Half would say the same thing. I think there were some times he would have preferred to play off, and there were some times where maybe he felt like he should have sent the dogs and he didn't. Right. So, you know, salute to our coaching staff for taking ownership.
Yeah, I think Goose asked a question in here. We'll get to that in a second. Let's go to Godsmack AR69 with a super chat. Thank you, buddy. I want to play the Bears still suck, but they gave the Packers everything they could handle today. Should I or should I not? We're going to choose not to today and just tip our cap and say hell of a ball game. And can't wait to see you at Lambeau next time. But
absolutely, yeah, and don't worry, Victory Monday tomorrow. We will definitely be dropping.
Yeah, we'll dial it back.
Dropping that all day.
No doubt. If you guys would take a quick second, hit that like for us. Feel free to sub to the channel. We appreciate y'all making us a part of your pre or post game festivities, I should say. Goose, haven't seen him in a while. Good to see you, Goose. He said, "Was this more of a dagger to the Bears than if the Packers had beat the brakes off of them?"
That's a great question.
It's funny he said that too, and I'm going to get your take, Tim. I'm not looking at it from the Bears' perspective, but from a Packers perspective. I walked over here and I've got these French doors I had open, man. The breeze blowing in today. It was chilly. It was awesome. I went to close the doors, and the first thing I thought of was, this is a big momentum builder for the Packers, man.
Yeah.
Again, you come out, you lose the middle eight, you lose the turnover differential, and you still get a win. This is wild. I've watched football for a long time. I cannot tell you the last time that I've seen the Packers win so many games in which they lost the middle eight and they lost the turnover differential. And it's like someone said earlier here in the chat, what's going to happen when they put it all together, man? You know, what is going to happen when they put it all together? It's just wild. So
I agree.
Jake G126 with the super chat said, "I forgot I had hernia surgery on Tuesday and on that blocked field goal. We're okay, but I was reminded, go Pack, go fan, gonna need extra aspirin." There you go, man. Just
we got to send Jake the $5 back for the aspirin tab. We got to get him some more aspirin.
Send him a 20 spot so you can go get him a case of Daddy sodas. Knock that right out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and a bag of ice or something.
Nah, Jake, hope you're healing up well, buddy. Thank you for the super chat. You are awesome, man. Here we go. This is one I want to get to. Goose said, Clayton, did the defense seem to play more like in the past today? The defend the big play, let them have the small stuff. It felt that way. It did at times. I see the direction you're going, Goose, and I think there's merit to your comment because it did feel like everything was open underneath and they were just playing over the top. As you may remember last year when everybody was complaining about Joe Barry doing that, I kept pointing out, watch this game, go watch that replay. Everybody does that. They all do that. It's just like Tim said earlier, you're picking your spots. When do you blitz? When do you not? And we were of the opinion going into this game, just bring 4. Make Caleb stand in the pocket and beat you with 7 in coverage.
And that worked every time we did it today.
Right.
Almost.
And then we get away from it. Yeah.
We saw the huge Carl Brooks sacks. We saw Rashawn had a sack, and we were rushing 4 because Caleb was dropping back. Coverage was decent. And those, one of those 4 is going to get home most of the time. It just so happens we had 2 and sometimes 3 guys. TJ Slayton had huge plays today in the trenches. So, that's the logic, right? You don't always have to send 5 or 6, on the blitz.
Yeah, definitely, man. So I understand what you're saying, Goose. It did kind of feel like that. But again, I think we've created, not you, but we as a whole, as a fan base, have created this false narrative that Barry just plays soft because drunken podcasters get on there and scream that the whole time.
Right.
That's where that comes from. And if you watch all across the league, they'll see 1 or 2 plays where a defense plays aggressive and they go, why don't we do that? The Packers do that just as much as any other team.
This is also people that assume that zone coverage is soft.
Right.
Like that if you're not man-to-man press, that you're playing soft. And I just disagree with that whole logic.
And at the end of the game, the out route that Keenan Allen ran for 13 yards to put them in field goal range to really make us clench the old cheeks here as man coverage, beat them outside. And you're going, well, how did he beat them outside? Remember what we always showed before. It depends on what the safeties are doing, in which that's what determines how you're playing man coverage. In that case, they're playing soft man coverage, saying we'll give you underneath, but we're not going to give you the big play to get you way down here in field goal range. It's almost impossible to cover that out route. I think they ran a dagger concept. They actually ran the 1 out and the 2 or the 1. I think that's Ohio, actually. They ran the 1 on a go, the 2 on an out. I think that's called in Ohio. I'll tell you right here, as a matter of fact.
You ran a 9 stop too, like you just like Tommy Brady was talking about, you just make it look like a go and you just cut it short, put the brakes on and cut it short. And, man to man with no help over the top or late help over the top, you're going to get beat every time.
Yeah. And it was an Ohio route there. And what, as a corner, what you're taught is, especially if it's split safety, cover 2 man in that situation, it's, listen, do not get beat down the seam. So he's playing over the top, inside tech to protect the seam. They run an out route. It's just like taking Mountain Dew from a baby, man, as we say here in the holler. TC fan with the super chat. Appreciate you, buddy. I thought Brady was really good today. I did too. Listen, I listened to him the first couple of weeks of the season, and I thought, oh, no, Brady is garbage at this. But just like everything else Brady has ever encountered in life, give him a little bit of time, he's going to kick its ass. And I think he has become such a good announcer, Tim. What did you think about
navigating these interesting, dynamics with him being, a minority owner of the Raiders and, these special rules and can't attend production meetings with the teams in the pregame. He doesn't have the same kind of access your typical network analyst is going to have. And like you said, Clayton, it's just, more adversity to throw at him. He'll figure out his way around it. And I would agree. I prefer, Tommy talking football. Tommy going down memory lane and stuff is I get lost a little bit. But when he's talking, it's almost like Tony Romo. Tony Romo's an X's and O's. He's always talking about what's happening out there in the moment on the field. And I think to his credit, when Tom Brady takes that approach as well, you really see the game and you kind of get that perspective from one of the greatest to ever play quarterback in the NFL. So I think it's awesome. I think he's doing great now that he's kind of settling in, right? He's like a first-year starter, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, TC fan, thank you so much for the super chat. But I know the one specific play that he called out, or not the play that he called out, but one comment he made that I was thinking, thank God I'm not losing my mind over here, was, I'm not a big fan of passing on first down. And it doesn't mean you shouldn't do it ever. It's huge. It's vital to an offense. But like today, Matt LaFleur kept it in check. First down passes in the first half, we had 5. We hit on 3 and missed on 2. In the second half, to the best of my knowledge, only 3 first down passes in the second half. And lo and behold, you come roaring back. Oh, by the way, he connected on all 3 of those. When you do it more often, your percentage of success goes down. And one thing Tom Brady pointed out was, I don't mind the run on first down there where they got stuffed, but to run it again on second down and get stuffed again when you're inside the 20, that second and long is where you should probably, or that second and 8 to 10 is where you should. Okay, let's try to take what the defense gives us here in the passing game. Now, I don't ever want to be associated with the fans that, come on, run the ball. What are we doing? And then the next play, it's why are we running? We need to pass, right? Because it's all situational. The coaches have way more information than we do, right? Watching what's happening on the field. But I thought he did a great job in that aspect of his play calling. It's just that one sequence that I just wanted to throw something through the TV where he was, like I said, second and short. Go ahead and pick up that first down. You ain't got to throw right here. You throw, you get a penalty, 2nd and 6, reset the down, 2nd and 6. Jet sweep, you lose 5 yards, 3rd and 11, and then you end up not converting. So, and I did not like them going for it on 4th down, Tim.
No, take the points. I was thinking of our conversation in the pregame,
morning,
right? Yeah. Like, oh my gosh, take the points. I mean, we'd probably still be in a nail biter of a situation. It just,
right.
We'd probably still have a few nails left on our fingers after this game if they took the points there. But yeah, man, it's I wonder too if it's kind of like Matt talked about it in his presser here a few minutes ago about, you have kind of a loaded, stacked, talented receiver room. It's tough to kind of get everybody involved, but you saw them making an effort to do that. Hell, I saw Malik Heath on the field early in the game. We saw a lot of Bo Melton today. We got a dose of Romeo Dobbs, although he had that drop, kind of a tough catch to the boundary there. Jaden Reed had a few looks, right? We did our best to kind of spread it around in the pass game. And I mean, I think almost every one of them had at least one target today, maybe except for Malik Heath, and Josh Jacobs hell of a play in the first half, making, swing pass, another kind of a high and hot ball from Jordan. And you saw Josh Jacobs go up and make a hell of a catch, like a wide receiver style play, and take it up the field for a gain. So I think Matt is committed to spreading this football around offensively. And that's why we talk about week to week. You never know who your stud's going to be or who that number one guy is going to be. Today, it just so happened to be, in my opinion, Christian Watson. We'll see what it'll be next week against the Niners,
Yeah, definitely. I love this tweet right here, too. Rob Domofsky tweeted out, in 1999, the Bears beat the Packers on a blocked field goal by Brian Robinson at the end. 25 years later, Carl Brooks returned the favor. And I got Wes Hodkiewicz there with the with obviously the gif of time as a flat circle and Matthew McConaughey smashing the beer can there. So
love it.
Pretty cool, though. 25 years, a quarter century later, Packers return the favor. You love to see it. So I thought that was pretty neat, man. Wes Hodkiewicz is awesome that he catches that stuff. And shout out to Rob Domofsky putting that tweet out there, too. Let's see what else we got here. I wanted to check. I know Matt LaFleur was in the locker room on CBS just a second ago. We're going to wait till the Packers have it. We may have to wait and play it tomorrow, but we will we'll definitely get that up. That's something we typically do on Victory Monday, so we'll hit that probably tomorrow. Let's go to the chat. Tony Two Legs might be the coolest name on YouTube. 76.4%. I think he was referring to Jordan Love's completion percentage, which, Tim, that's quite a bit higher than 65%, is it not, sir?
Yeah, it's been a while, right? We're happy to see it. Like you said, I think the fact that the attempts were down, right? He had 17 attempts or something like that.
Yes.
It just showed that we were committed to pounding that rock. I had a tweet earlier when we were really in the zone, just hard-nosed football, and that's what we saw, the willingness to just go ahead and pound the rock. Honestly, I believe that's what kept us in this ball game and allowed us to do what we did in the passing game. So you talk about pass efficiency from Jay Money, 17, he's 13 to 17, something like that. I mean, that's pretty doggone efficient. We'll take it, Yeah.
Antoine in the chat says, but red zone offense, why do they forget how to play football inside the 20? I don't think they forget how to play football down there, Antoine. Listen, I'm as frustrated as you are about it. It's like they start looking horizontally. You know what I mean? Rather than just keeping things just simple. Hey, and I think in the back of their mind, honestly, it's not so much about the current play call as it is setting up the next play call. And Matt is so aggressive in choosing to pass up on the field goal, which I absolutely hate. I'm the most boring football fan on the face of the earth. I can't stand it when we pass up on points, especially when you're on the road like this against an opponent that hasn't been able to put up much points. But appreciate you in the chat there, buddy. 2-0 for this. Ty Summers would have caught that. Mike Hebring in the chat. The entire defense is awful. I got to disagree, Mike.
I'm going to go ahead and disagree too. That's a pretty blanket statement there.
Right. Listen, there was bad spots, no doubt about it, but you ended up doing what you had to do to keep an NFL team from scoring 20 points. You held DeAndre Swift to 71 yards rushing. Isn't it funny too, Tim? The people that complain about there not being enough sacks are the same ones who complain when Caleb Williams rushes for 70 yards on you. And again, you could see that in the pass rush today. You got aggressive.
Oh, yeah.
You over pursued upfield. This was another Tommy, Danny, whatever his name is, DeVito's, Tommy Cutlets game from the Giants.
It almost was. It almost was, but something clicked there at halftime. There was adjustments made.
Yep.
I felt like we came out in the third quarter looking really, really stout and solid. And I think Hafley committed to adjusting and changing the approach. And we still saw him blitz down the stretch, but he was, you could see the dance happening, right? Like we talked about picking your spots, but I will agree with Mike in the sentiment of there were some awful things we saw defensively today. Don't get me wrong. Keyshawn in coverage on the boundary particularly kind of bothered me a little bit today. We can also talk about Quay Walker's performance today. But we also saw a lot of great football on defense today. Brenton Cox Jr., hello, welcome to the Bears Packers rivalry. Thank you. And like I said, TJ Slayton, I think underrated performance today. We'll see what the grades look like. But I thought we saw a lot of good things on defense today. I really do think we did. So it's not all bad. Not the entire defense was not awful. And felt that way at times though today. Don't get me wrong.
Right. And then you notice, like, when they got those back-to-back sacks, Tim, they pinned their ears back. Now, why did they do that? Because they knew Caleb Williams was looking to throw the football. He was no longer going to try to scramble because the clock is now in play, right?
Yep.
If you scramble and you get hit, what you've seen it 2 plays in a row there, then obviously that's going to hurt your chances of giving your targets or your weapons an opportunity down the field to move the ball in chunk plays and get in field goal range. So it was all by design, as it always is. But you had Rashawn Gary with 1 sack. Rashawn Gary had 6 tackles, 1 sack, 1 tackle for a loss. Brenton Cox Jr., 3 tackles, 1 sack, 2 tackles for a loss. And TJ Slayton with 1 sack and a tackle for a loss. TJ Slayton, one of those guys, I think he's 3rd on the team in pressure percentage. I'd like to see him get a few more snaps. And again, it's just crazy because you didn't hear Carl Brooks' name called hardly all game long. And then game on the line, he steps up and blocks the kick. It's just absolutely awesome. Adam in the chat, the entire defense is not awful. I agree with that take there, sir. Greg Rice in the chat says, if we can get Nixon to turn and look for the ball, he might get some picks. It's just every single week, Greg. You see it, right? And it's something that was a problem for Eric Stokes when he was in the lineup consistently throughout his young career. And I know it's been somewhat cut short with injuries. But, Tim, I couldn't agree more, man. It's like Nixon's always got himself in a position to make the play. He just never gets his head around.
Yeah, and I think that's a testament to why we prefer him in the slot. A little bit more of a downhill type of role. When you go to the boundary, man, you could end up running up stride for stride up that sideline with somebody. You got to know, we talk about receivers having late hands. That's part of the deception, right? You don't want to tip the DB that you're trying to catch a ball. But you got to know, you got to have that internal clock, almost like a quarterback. You got to know when it's time to turn. And some guys do it better than others, and that's why they play where they play. But, we had to do what we had to do today. I will tip my cap to Jair for trying to make a go of it because, we looked pre-game. He was pretty much a late addition here. It almost looked like, hindsight's 2020. We look at those photos that we saw pre-game of him talking with the coaches during stretching. I wonder if he was pleading his case and just saying, hey, let me go. And, if I can't go any further, then we have guys ready to go. And that's what we saw, right? We started to see Eric Stokes. We started to see more Carrington Valentine. And, you were forced into that position. I thought Buller did pretty well in the slot today, especially considering we needed him in those run fits and not so much in coverage. And, I don't know. I think it's a testament to a lot of our DBs is they're not fully beat stride, when it comes to the stride length or coverage, but you're getting your head around later. You don't know where the football is. And that's going to be a problem. You're going to see those completions like we saw today.
Yeah, Josh Martin with the super chat. Appreciate you, buddy. He says, Love is our biggest liability on offense. That's with every team. Your quarterback's either your biggest liability or he's your biggest asset. Look at what he did on that final drive. Like, do we think just any quarterback in the league can go down there and do what he did? I mean, the fact that he just comes alive there at the end. And when it felt like the Saints game, Tim,
Yeah.
played booty most of the game, right? Booty cheeks most of the game. All of a sudden, all right, got to go get this touchdown. Dude goes down there and just takes a huge hit on the goal line. Obviously, he hits Scoot for the 60-yarder. Ball could have been thrown better, no doubt about it. But the fact that he stood in there as long as he did to allow Scoot to open up on that crosser. And by the way, can we get a shout out to Christian Watson? 4 targets, 4 catches, 150 yards receiving today. Let's go. And here's the one thing I did notice. Whenever you seen Jayden Reed in motion, Jalen Johnson was following him. So it felt like anytime they were in man coverage or any kind of zone match look, they had their best corner shutting down Jayden Reed. Jayden Reed got 2 targets, had 2 catches for 23 yards and a touchdown. And the obviously the touchdown was, we got a free play there, take your shot down the seam. And the other play was a swing pass where they were trying to get him involved somehow, some way. But man, Christian Watson, 4 catches, 150 yards on 4 targets. Josh Jacobs, 4 catches for 58 yards, caught 4 of his 5 targets there. And rushing the ball, Josh Jacobs, 18 carries for 76 yards and a touchdown. You could see early on, Tim, we were averaging like 6 yards a pop. And then the Bears really started to kind of shut that run down a little bit. And that opened things up in the passing game from time to time, too. So all-purpose yards, our boy Josh Jacobs finishes the day at well over 120, maybe 130, right?
Yep, absolutely. And that's we anticipated that, right? We knew we needed a game from him. And real quick, just talking about Reed and Watson, it's almost like they kind of switched, right? Normally Scoot's doing the dirty work and kind of running the decoy route and freeing things up for Bird. And today it was different. You know, Jayden Reed had himself a grimy kind of game today. He did a lot of dirty work. He had a great job on one of the plays where he would have got called for a block in the back as they were going to the sideline. I'm sure we'll check that one out on Chalk Talk. And he just did a great job of getting his hands up and getting in the way, but not committing the penalty there. And just a lot of gritty, smart plays and nothing super spectacular, highlight reel worthy for him. But today we saw that from Scoot. Just some huge catches from Watson down the stretch. You know, we love to see it.
Yeah, Josh Martin, thank you for the super chat, buddy. We appreciate you. And listen, I understand the frustration, because if he doesn't throw that interception down there and you settle for a field goal, you kick that field goal later in the game and you're not even having to come down to the wire. I get it. But yeah, I appreciate the super chat, man. Let's see what else we got here in the chat to get it cleaned up. Coach Lynn, great teams find a way. It's so true, Coach. It's so true. Nick McSwain, I was jumping and yelling in the back room at work. LOL. That's what I'm talking about. That's the stories I like to hear. Reef in the chat says, Watson came through with a big game. Yes, sir, he did. We just talked about it. Caught all 4 targets, 150 yards receiving. It is funny, too, like the people that are negative, they just do this complete circle, Tim.
Yep.
A complete circle. It's like 1 second it's get rid of Rashawn Gary. Okay, Rashawn Gary comes up with a big sack there at the end. All right, get rid of Rich Bisaccia. Well, special teams blocks the game-winning field goal. You got to find somebody to complain about constantly. For the longest time, it was Christian Watson. No Christian Watson hate out there today. But
right.
United Bates says Scoot was MVP, big catches. What we're going to do tomorrow on the show, I should have done it tonight. We'll do it tomorrow. We're going to have you guys pick the PTA player of the game every week, okay? So we'll try to get that up on the stream tomorrow night when we get in here for Victory Monday. I'm excited about it, man. Love Victory Mondays. Let's see here. Cheesehead Murph in the house. Good to see you, buddy. Says, go, Pack, go. I thought we lost till I heard it's blocked. It's blocked. Me too, Murph. I thought it was a line drive right through the uprights. When he said blocked, I went, oh, my God. What did you – are you serious? Are you serious? So Tim said he hit the crossbar, man. That's just wild. I can't wait to watch it back. So
yeah,
I wish we could show it on here, but you guys know how that goes. Let's see. We already hit this one from Goose. Good to see Goose in here, man. I haven't seen him in a while. Greg Rice, I thought like Clay that it was a low, good kick. I had no idea it was blocked. I'm glad I wasn't the only one, man. I thought I must be getting old in here, man. United Bates says Brady caught a few plays before they happened, Tony Romo style. I like it. And 2-0 for this. That late hit call on X was just a soft joke, man. You are not kidding. I put a tweet out, and I know it's running right now. My notifications are going crazy on the phone, but Tim, did you see it, man? Did you see the late hit there?
I saw the LeBron James flop from Caleb
exactly
there. Or actually, maybe it wasn't even a flop. It looked like he just tripped on the tarp or tripped over a media cord or whatever the heck's going on the sideline. But to me, there didn't seem to be anything extra or dirty there. It looked like McKinney was playing the ball to the boundary and just trying to finish the play, and the guys kind of stumbled there on the sideline. That, sometimes the best call is no call. I thought that was an absolute joke. And of course, what does it lead to? 15 yards and a new set of downs. Gotta love it.
Oh my God, you guys ain't gonna believe this, man. The social media team. Can we get some praise for the Green Bay Packers social media team, because they have been stepping up big time? Look at this tweet they just put out. Just the tip, talking about the ball getting tipped. It's got, check it out.
Just the tip, though. Just the tip, though.
Put it on loop.
Just the tip, though.
One more time, Tim. Hit it from
Just the tip, though. Just the tip, though. Just the tip, though.
I love that they put that out, man. Oh, dude. Are we having a good time or what, man? These close games are the ones that are just, if you're a fan and you're choosing to be, well, this didn't go right and that didn't go right, go
Sit your butt outside.
that, take some X-Lax and get it all out. You know what I mean? Because you're all bound up. You're living life the wrong way. I'm just telling you right now.
I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
Exactly. Oh, man. Yeah, here we go. Drew D. Appreciate it, buddy. The non-false.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Drew.
Is unbelievable.
Oh.
Tim, he moves.
That was worse than that one and the call on X were the two worst of the game, I think. The no
Tim,
call and then the call.
He moves and then looks.
It was like a kid when you're trying to steal that last cookie and mom catches you and you just kind of freeze.
Or if you're a young Tucker Kraft trying to steal the last lung dart out of your dad's carton there. Unbelievable. I could not believe that, man. Could not.
Oh, man.
Yeah. There you go. That's it. 2-0 for this. That wasn't even a flinch. It was a full stand up and back. And then he got the ball and was like surprised on the pitch. Like, oh, hell, we're running this play. All right, here we go. Hilarious.
We saw a lot of that today, though. There was a few times it looked like, right tackle and right guard were a little early on some of those plays for the Bears, too. No false starts called. Yep.
Definitely. All right, man. Let's run through the box score one last time here before we get ready to wrap up. I was hoping we get the locker room speech, but it hasn't hit yet, so I'll keep an eye out for that. And let's see here. So with the box score, once again, Jordan Love, 13 of 17 for 261, a touchdown and an interception, was sacked once, lost a yard. Caleb Williams was 23 of 31 for 231 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. The Packers sacked him 3 times. They lost 19 yards on those sacks. Josh Jacobs, 18 carries for 76 yards and a touchdown. Jordan Love, 4 carries for 18 yards and a touchdown. Emmanuel Wilson, only 2 carries for 17 yards. Tim, we got what we wanted, man. Josh Jacobs was the bell cow today, was he not?
Absolutely. And really, I mean, shout out to Wilson. He had 2 great carries, the 2 that he had. I also thought that, it would have been nice to see Jaden Reed get one of those on those little jet sweeps or the end arounds, but it didn't happen. But yeah, man, Josh Jacobs, man, this offense really does lately, as of late, it runs through Josh Jacobs. If he performs like this, we didn't get him north of 25 carries like I wanted, but I feel real good about the way he played. And like you said, all purpose yards too came up huge in the pass game as well. So it's our guy right there.
And as a team, we held the Chicago Bears to 34 carries for 179 yards. So, listen, they had a little more success on the ground than we probably would have wanted. But the fact that you held Roschon Johnson, their power back, 10 carries, 33 yards was huge because they were continuing to try to keep him in the mix, getting that kind of that thunder and lightning approach there on running the football. Receiving, Christian Watson, 4 catches, 150 yards on 4 targets, had the long of 60. Obviously, he had the other clutch catch on 3rd down in double coverage, just Jordan giving his guy a shot to make a play there. Josh Jacobs had 4 catches for 58 yards on 5 targets. Jaden Reed, 2 catches for 23 yards and a touchdown on 2 targets. Romeo Doubs had 2 targets, one catch for 17 yards. He had that one crucial drop. I think that might have been on a 2nd down play, I believe. Chris Brooks, 2 targets, 2 catches, 13 yards. He was effective. Looks like Wicks was targeted 1 time, no catch. Kraft was targeted 1 time, no catch. You could tell they really game planned to shut Tucker Kraft down, too. So that's probably what opened things up. Think about it. Jalen Johnson on Jaden Reed, they clamped down on Tucker Kraft. Next thing you know, Scoot's got 150 yards receiving. So.
True. Great way to adjust, And we talked about that pregame, right? Tucker Kraft in line, attached to the line. I think the Bears responded pretty well today. They gave him all he could handle out there.
Yeah. Xavier McKinney led the way with 9 tackles, 6 of which were solos. Carrington Valentine was very physical on the edge. Listen, I know he wasn't great in coverage, but he's willing to stick his nose in there and make a tackle, no doubt. He had 9 tackles, 4 were solo. Javon Bullard, 8 tackles, 6 solo. Quay Walker, 8 tackles, 5 solo. Edgerrin Cooper, 8 tackles, 5 solo. Evan Williams, 6 tackles, 5 solo. Rashawn Gary, 6 tackles, 3 of which were solo tackles. He had 1 sack and 1 tackle for a loss. Big game there for Gary. Keyshawn Nixon, 4 tackles, 3 were solos. Brenton Cox Jr., 3 tackles, 2 solos, 1 sack, 2 tackles for a loss. And Igbare with 3 tackles. And, of course, TJ Slayton came in, looked like limited snaps, Tim. Yep. And he made it count, man. Got that sack at the end and a tackle for a loss there. As far as kicking, kick returning, Keyshawn Nixon, 2 for 51. Jaden Reed returned the only punt for 16 yards. Brandon McManus was perfect on his extra points, did not get a field goal attempt today. And Daniel Whelan, obviously with the huge punt there, 1 punt, 47 yards inside the 20. I think he put it down to the 5-yard line. Daniel Whelan is just an absolute weapon, man.
I think I'm with Jacob, man. I think he's probably the best punter in the league. I think there's a good argument for it.
Definitely top 3 at a minimum, right?
Yep.
No doubt about it. All right, man. I think that's pretty much everything from the box score there. So what do you say we give away an autographed Romeo Doubs card, man? That sound good to you?
Always sounds good, man. Let's get somebody hooked up.
Let's do it.
We got to break out the pinky wheel, man.
We were able to actually add in go buy some Charmin, by the way, sponsor the show. We were able to add in
You think God never farted?
We were able to add in all the new members here today, okay? So, like Joyce just gifted some membership, so I waited to the last second to do that. Go get you an iPhone 16 to sponsor the show. It's going to be a problem. What I'm going to do is shuffle these names up, okay, guys? So you can see here, all 119 in here. We're going to shuffle it a couple times, just throw it around on the wheel, and let's spin it. The way this is going to work is we're going to draw 3 names, all right? The first name we draw is the true winner. If they don't come forward and claim the autographed Romeo Doubs card, then we'll give it to the second winner. If they don't come forward, we'll give it to the third winner. So here we go. Let's spin this thing and see who's winning this card. And this was donated by our very own United Bates. Appreciate you supporting the channel, man.
Bates the Great.
That's right. Bates the Greats. Here we go. You ready?
How about these hands?
Oh, here we go.
Big money, no whammy. Big money, no whammy. Who we got?
The winner of the autographed Romeo Doubs card is Justin Connor.
Justin Connor.
Would the real Justin Connor please stand up?
Here's the guy.
So if Justin Connor does not come forward and claim the card, then the winner will be
Big money, no whammy. Big money, no whammy. Backup plan. Winner number 2 is
Jabin Tebow. Tebow. If Justin Connor goes MIA on us, you get the card, and let's do it a third time just for good measure here. Here we go.
Back up to the backup. Third string on the depth chart here. Here we go. Who do we have?
Who's falling off the bench? It is Mr. Casey Oldham. All right. There you go, guys. So, again, Justin Connor, you are the winner of the autographed Romeo Doubs card. Make sure you reach out to me. Shoot me a text. 865-658-5824 would be the best way to do it. And or you can just shoot me an email, PackersTotalAccess@gmail.com, and we'll get that card sent out to you. Mike Berry confirms it is rigged. So there you go. All right, here we go. YouTube user. Hey, another gift for you cheeseheads. I'm an angry Bears fan. Can't take it anymore. Flus is a joke, but the organization just gets in their own way. Listen, man, when I come across Bears fans who are real and, listen, we all want our favorite team to win. I'm tipping my cap to you, YouTube user. I wish I knew your real name. Great game today, man. You guys played your ass off. And I know it looks grim, and I know everybody wants Flus gone, and I got you. And that probably is the right move, in my opinion. The little bit of knowledge I have on the Bears. But, man, great game today, dude. You guys played awesome. You really did. I thought I was going to get in here and eat some crow tonight. I really did. We were going to show those from the user that was talking trash if we lost. I promise you. Now, of course, he didn't show up. But, yeah, good luck, man. Go find you a good offensive coach. That's what you guys need. You need a quarterback guru to take that natural talent of Caleb Williams and teach him how to utilize it, reading the defense, and get you an offensive mind in the building, man. That's what you guys need down there, no doubt. And that defense is a real deal too. So
Absolutely.
2-0 for this in the chat. I won a signed Quay jersey from you a couple years ago. Can I trade it in for the Pinky Will?
No, but I'll take it. You can send it to me.
You know what we need to do? We need to create a mock will that's physical that we can give out on the show. That'd be awesome. We'll just have one hanging back here. Just Larry McCarron's wing.
Let's go. I'm writing it down. We're designing it. Let's go.
That's awesome that you won the autographed Quay jersey. We got a couple of jerseys that are going to be coming up here real soon. We're just going through these autographed Romeo Dobbs cards that United Bates donated. We appreciate him doing that for sure. So, Tim, man, we're at the hour mark. Anything else you want to hit on before we wrap up here, dude? As the Packers get a huge win, 20-19 down in Chicago.
Just too old for this. Says, no, Tim, you can't have it. I love my signed jersey, even if he doesn't know how to tackle it. Yikes.
Yeah.
Sure knows how to cover better than some of our corners, but we'll leave that alone.
Again, that was good coverage on that one play, right? Like down the seam.
That one stood out, but there was a couple that he shot out of there in some of those Tampa 2 looks that we threw in. So, I mean, I don't think he was as big of a dumpster fire as everyone else, but I get the sentiment because he's definitely underperformed. There's no debate there.
It's just it's tough, man, because you've seen like 3rd and short, Edgerrin Cooper right in the gap, run stuff. 4th and short, they decide to go for it. Quay kind of dancing around, and it's like, bro, just attack. If there's not a fan on God's green earth that's going to be pissed off that Quay shoots into the backfield and misses the tackle because he's too aggressive. The worst thing you can do is on a 4th and short, just kind of play patty cake there. Again, though, if they run a vertical route down that seam, he might be the guy I want on the play. Don't get me wrong. He has just been so good at that, but everything in between has just been tough, man. It has, and I don't mean to harp on it, but I just want to see Wilson. I want to see what Wilson and Cooper can do out there with the bulk of the snaps. That's all I want to see. Last thing we'll show here. The Packers tweeted this out, Tim.
Oh, nice. That's what I was talking about.
Intensifies, and you can see here with the pinky right on the ball there. Absolutely beautiful, man.
See what I'm saying? How the ball's like perfectly vertical as it's going end over end. That's what caused it to nosedive. Literally saved us with the pinky, right? The game of inches.
Crazy. That right there needs to be a screen grab for the show tomorrow, no doubt.
You know what I love too is it's everybody. Look, you got TJ with his hands. Everybody is that Enigbare there on the left.
Yeah,
and
that poor long snapper. Look at him. He's about to eat it. You see him underneath TJ Slayton. It's bad, man. My man looks like he's being bagged there. Some of you guys got that. But with that being said, we're out. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us. This was a lot of fun. The Packers get a big win, 20-19 down in Chicago as they improve to what's our record now, Tim? Help me out here.
We are a 7-3 football team.
There you go. We were going to go around the league, but we're out of time. We'll do it tomorrow, kind of give you guys an update on the standings and everything. Greg Rouse in the chat, game of inches. That's what she said. All right. See, I knew I shouldn't check. That's it, guys. This show sucks. We've officially reached that point. But what didn't suck is everybody contributing to the show. Appreciate y'all. Hardy the Prophet with the super chat. TC Fam with the super chat. Joyce Martha gifting 20 Packer Fan Total Access memberships here on YouTube. Chewy with the super chat. United Bates with the $20.19 super chat. Paging Chris Foster. Still looking for Chris. Maybe we'll put him on a milk carton tomorrow, Tim. We might go that route. Godsmacked AR69 with the super chat. Jake G126 with the super chat. TC Fan again with the super chat. And Josh Martin with the super chat. Appreciate y'all supporting the stream. Tim, thank you for your time, man. We'll see you tomorrow night for PTA Live. We may do a morning show. Victory Monday morning will be absolutely awesome. Let me see if I can clear my schedule. I had a full day tomorrow, but man, when you win a ball game like this, sometimes you just got to.
I love it. I love it. Let's go.
That's perks of being your own boss. I'm just saying, guys. You get tired of people screwing you over and telling you when you can go take a piss and when you can't. You got the right to say, you know what, I'm going to go out and make money on my own. So there you go.
Bon dia.
That has nothing to do with what we just said, but y'all have a wonderful evening. Packers get the win, get the dub down in Chicago. We'll see y'all tomorrow.
There's a possum in a dump.